Warning. It is the opinion of the Forestry Productions LLC and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language.
I'm like,
She got smacked up by the boyfriend. You tossed him out, and now she's jumping on your back.
I tossed him out, but
Yeah.
made his life miserable.
Well, you can bet. You don't hit
But that's right. And he was drunk and he was a mess. And why I get him outside and he's on the ground, I'm getting law enforcement to come out and get his ass because he's going to jail.
Yeah.
I'm turning around to go back in to see if she's okay. She got up and she attacked me for hurting him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm like this, so I'm like, dink, 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 pull her off.
Yeah.
She's like up above me. I just went, dink.
Yep, you're going
I
to.
tossed her. She hit the ground. Boom. Didn't move. I'm like, oh my God.
She got the wind knocked
I got
out.
the wind knocked there. So I go over. I'm like, are you all right? And I held her there. And the cops come.
Yeah.
And they didn't know. So they're just like, hey, get off of her. Leave her alone. They don't know who's anybody. I'm like, look, I work here. I'm just restraining her too. She's a little out of hand.
Yep.
She's small, but I'm telling you.
She's a feisty one.
She's a firecracker.
It was a young guy,
Yeah.
young officer.
Yeah.
New.
Yeah.
Get off of her now or I'm taking you. And I'm like, okay, I'm just doing you a favor. I get up. She runs over, literally right up the middle. Kicked him. Bang! Like, I told he's like, oh. And collapsed over. He took off running. They said, I told you.
Yeah.
So I had to go.
Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by the one and only Rich Latta, and our special guest is Isaac Valdez. Valdez. Yep, I got it right. Just in case,
French.
Yeah. Just in case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content and all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can know us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we keep bringing you this sweet, sweet content. Rich, ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Isaac, you ready to do this?
Ready.
All right. Yeah, he's somewhere. Well, speaking of Ruger, this is the Working Perspectives Podcast. Let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
Okay, on the show today, we have RENZO GRACIE black belt Isaac Valdez. He has a bunch of things we want to go over. Super excited to get you here, but I wanted to, you have your own channel, right? I wanted to get that first. What is that called and where can we find it?
It is Side to Hustle. It's on YouTube, of course.
Yeah.
And the basic idea is I'm taking real estate as my side job, my side hustle, and hopefully in a few years making it my main hustle.
Love it.
Bringing in hopefully enough rent income to not have to work a day job anymore.
Oh,
I told you years ago I went down that road.
And it's a detour and finally a roadblock.
First townhouse, we said we're going to rent it out. Got a realtor, Tom Skiffington, up at Remax up there.
Okay.
Redid the entire town. Beautiful. Nice neighborhood up there on Long Avenue, right by the hospital. You get a lot of nurses and doctors.
There you go.
And man, did a nice job on the place. Looked gorgeous. We just said, hey, no pets, no cats, no dogs. And it was a 3-bedroom, so 2 kids. we get a couple people that were taking a look, and then we get a couple that acted serious. So Tom sends them out. We were there. Hey, do you mind meeting them there? Blah, blah, blah. They pull up. This looked like something out of National Lampoon's Vacation.
Really?
It looked like the family truckster pulling up.
Oh,
The guy gets out. He had to be 6'5", 380 pounds.
Jesus.
You know, little toothpick hanging out of his mouth. The wife gets out. She's probably a slender 280. And
There goes your toilet.
I'm thinking this is a small townhouse. Like, where are these people going to fit? They're giants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She
Yeah.
was not a small woman. She was probably 6'2" or 6'3".
Jesus.
Bigger framed.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
The kids get out. They're huge.
yeah.
And there were 6 of them.
Holy moly.
And they brought the golden retriever and the cat
Oh, nice.
to look. Everybody came to look. They're piling out. I go, what? This might not be a good idea.
Yeah.
Like, what didn't they understand? Or
Right.
what did Tom meet these people?
Yeah.
Didn't last long.
No.
The
Yeah,
interview
well, yeah,
or that
thanks for
being-
coming out. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. See the upstairs. Not right
Yeah.
now.
I'm gonna go
No,
say-
maybe it wouldn't work.
We'll
yeah.
talk to Tom.
Yeah. We're
And then
still
after
doing-
that, I said, we're putting this thing up for sale. I'm not going down this road. So that ended that.
Yeah.
But how do you get 3-bedroom? You get 6 people with pets.
Right.
Yeah. That's 6 kids, so 8 people.
And these were not
Yeah.
small people.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh.
it's a townhouse.
Man.
Nice, but I'm thinking to myself, where the frick are these people going to fit?
Yeah. Hope you have a half bath.
You know what I mean?
So
I'm literally leaving after the recording
mhm.
to go to my rental to put a second coat of Kills on a beautiful parquet floor,
Ooh.
just because the last renter, the litter box was optional. The litter box was where the cat should not go.
Mm.
So of course I had to 3K
Oh,
for
boy.
carpet, Kills on floor that I could probably sand and finish
Oof.
because of the stains and the smell.
When we bought our first house, we ended up going there and the people had, I didn't even know what a Maine Coon cat was.
Oh yeah.
What
It's
is
like the
that?
cat of
It is a
cats. Wow.
giant
Yeah.
cat.
Really?
They're freaking gorgeous, but it actually is a cross of like a domestic cat and a bobcat.
Mhm.
So
So-
these people had
It's a
3 of
killer.
them.
It's a
What?
killer, yeah.
Yeah,
How
I think
big
like a
is small?
Norwegian but like an average size one is 30, 35 pounds. This guy had a 48 pounder.
Wow.
When we bought the house, it was just a couple. They didn't have any kids, but they had these cats.
Mhm.
I remember my father-in-law coming with me and he goes to walk down into the basement, which was a rec room. It was finished.
Mhm.
And one of them just popped out and looked up. Rich, step back. They got mountain lions. I'm like, what? They got pet mountain lions in here. This is weird. And he comes upstairs and I'm like, "Man," they're like, no, they're Maine Coon cats. I don't give a shit. They're mountain. That's what Sharon's dad was. So, yeah, we found out they were Maine Coon and they were actually super friendly. The head on the one was like that. Like they were bigger than Ruger.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. That's
That's a big cat.
yeah. That's pretty scary.
You're taking a 40-pound cat. I'm
Oh.
gonna tell you right now. That can be
That's a
dangerous.
predator.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
There goes the neighbor's chihuahua.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a bowel movement in the yard.
Nah. So, but okay, we'll have a link to your channel in the description of this episode.
Okay.
Highly suggest everyone check it out. Really good stuff. But I want to keep it moving. So, where did you grow up? Yeah, where'd you grow up? Yeah,
I am from Tampa, Florida. I'm a
whoa,
Floridian.
wow,
Yeah.
That's
What's up with that?
Yeah,
Out in
man.
hell.
Yeah.
Big
reptiles,
city.
too.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
city. And I loved it. I loved it growing up.
Yeah.
40 years there. I've been here for 9 years.
Yeah, you missed the winters down there. I
Right,
bet.
that's right. Yeah. When I visit, I feel like my bald head's a French fry. I'm gonna fry it.
Interaction with reptiles down there?
No, well, you mean while I lived there?
Yeah.
You got the story constantly of where's the dog?
Yeah.
Okay. The getting into the pool patio and then into the house through the dog gate, through the dog door.
Snakes would.
Alligators.
Oh.
Those stories you guys hear about are not false.
They just had one on Reels from Tampa.
Yep.
Guy went to walk outside. Gator, 8-foot gator now underneath his car.
Oh, wow.
He didn't know it. He
Yeah.
sees the tail. He's looking at the tail. Thing came out and bit him right in the calf.
Ooh.
And it was just happened on Reels.
Yeah.
And it was from Tampa, Florida.
Oh.
You gotta have you better have a handgun with you.
The only personal story I have is you learn as a kid,
Yeah.
don't go walking up to the pond and the water. Oh, look at the pretty water.
Oh.
They can stay underwater for 30 minutes. They can stay in water for almost a day. So you walk up, oh, look at these cute little cattails and it's right there, right in front of you.
Jesus.
I had to tell when my wife and I were dating, she's from up here, which is why we moved up here.
Mhm.
And we're at a park right on the Hillsborough River, and she's chilling by the water. I'm like, hey,
Oh.
Get off the water.
walk away from that, please,
Jesus.
real
My
quick.
poor dog would be a bologna sandwich because he can't stay out of the water.
Oh, man.
He raced right into the water.
Jeez. Wonder what they would do with Hampton.
Well, you know what they do? They grab you, spin,
Yeah.
and they don't eat you right away. You're too tough.
Yeah.
They'll go put you somewhere under the water, let
Soften you
tend
up.
down. Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gummy.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You know,
So, come to Florida and bring
Yeah.
your tax dollars
Yeah,
on
yeah.
vacation.
yeah, I get. You know what's crazy is like you talk about the crocodiles and stuff like that, but like a hippo can snap them in half.
Right.
That just
Yeah.
that kind of shit blows my mind.
Oh, yeah. And you're talking like saltwater crocs, which are the biggest and the nastiest.
Yeah,
You're talking 2,000 pounds, and a hippo can destroy one of them like nothing.
nothing.
It's not even a matchup.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
They
it's,
don't even mess with a hippo.
no.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
No. Apparently, no one messes with the hippos. They are like.
And they're cute.
And they
Yeah.
fart out of their mouth, I heard.
What?
I don't know. Let's ask my buddy.
Yeah, I had a
Google.
friend that did that.
We'll go. Yeah. yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
That's
your
a
buddy
joke.
hippo.
We're gonna fast. Someone's gonna fact check.
Yeah. That isn't amazing. If that's true, that's amazing.
All the keyboard warriors out there, web warriors.
Yeah.
Check that. For
Yeah,
us.
please do.
Am I allowed to say put it in the comments?
Yeah. Oh, dude, please. Yeah. I mean, I always forget to say.
I know there was a
please
guy
do.
in Brazil that had one as a pet. He
A
rescued
hippo.
it.
Wow.
And it was out, it lived outside, but the thing became so domesticated with him and his wife, that it would just come and as it got older, just come visit him,
Right.
super friendly with them. Then he would just disappear, do his own thing. A couple months later, he'd show up. And, I don't know,
Wow.
whatever their vegan diet.
Yeah.
They eat, I think they eat the stuff at the bottom of the rivers and the lakes.
Mhm.
But they would feed it, and he would hang out for a day or two and then go. But he was like a dog running up.
A
And I-
dog
he's
the
not-
size of a minivan.
He's like a pet until he's not.
I
Duh.
always wanted to own like a grizzly bear or like a mountain lion of some
A
sort.
tiger. Come on.
I always thought that would
And
be a
then,
great pet.
Oh,
Well, the Chris Rock. He's like, that tiger didn't go crazy. That tiger went tiger.
yeah.
Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah.
Like, what the
Yeah.
hell? What
It's
the hell?
true.
Oh,
It's true.
They're majestic, but I don't want them over for dinner. What the
No.
hell, man?
You remember out in
Mother-in-law.
Hershey, Pennsylvania, they used to have it where you had the bear wrestling, and they would
Hmm.
put a thing on the bear, and the bear the claws would be
Right.
clawed. But this would be a bear, and then guys would come in and
The
wrestle it.
crushing. No.
And you're talking big men over 300 pounds and get smacked around like nothing.
Oh,
Like they stopped doing it because people were getting
like they're getting
I've
murdered. Yeah.
yeah,
and that's what they can't use their mouth and no claws.
And they're just whacking.
They're smacking the shit out.
Oh,
I wanted to do it. Karen's like, you're nuts. And then down in Florida, they had the gator wrestling
dude.
that you could do.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen them? How quickly they snap their jaws?
Yeah,
Those.
I still wanted to do it.
No, it's crazy.
Really?
You know,
Yeah,
they are-
we
Man,
went to a place where they had a rattlesnake pit, and that was down in the I was Fort Myers area
yeah.
where they had the savannah.
Okay.
So a guy there, very hillbilly-ish. He actually had a snake pit. We were all out together, got invited to his house down
Mhm.
there, and he's like, "Hey, you want to see something?" I'm like, "Yeah, why not?"
all
He's
the
like,
cool
well,
things start that
Yeah,
way. In
look
Florida.
down in there. There's a giant snake pit, and they get drinking, and then they would reach down and try and snag one up. I was like, "That is freaking insane!" They did it. I
yeah.
watched them do it. So, did you ever get bit? Oh yeah, many times. They were as wacky can bit. My buddy Ron, who you know, Crazy Ron, he wanted to do it. I'm like, no. I got to explain that to your mom. I'm down here visiting. You know what I mean?
Florida's only in the news for crazy people doing crazy,
Oh.
which is
Oh, they-
unfortunate because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
We had, I mean, I'm dating us. We had on our other show, a guy brought up a story of a Florida man in Dade County.
Okay.
He broke into a Burger King and he didn't break in to steal any money. The cops found him drinking the fryer grease.
Oh, that was recently one of your videos. I saw
Yeah,
that. What
yeah.
the hell?
The
Yeah.
fire.
What the hell?
So at the bottom of the fryer, like the fryer, like, you know, where you put the fries and all that
Yeah.
shit, at the bottom of it, there's like a faucet, and that's how you dump it and change it.
Oh, wow.
He was apparently standing there with a cup doing this, and he had drank. They said he drank
Ugh.
like over a gallon by the time they got there.
Has this guy
Yeah.
heard of high cholesterol?
So-
Oh, he's 580 pounds. Yeah.
So, is it,
That's
do you
Florida.
have the undershirt on? They like to call it the wife beater. I don't
Yeah.
like that term.
Yeah.
Are you drinking Old English 800? We
Yeah.
call it 8-ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you riding your tractor everywhere? These are like the embarrassing things that Florida is known for. Now you got the Burger King guy drinking their,
You know,
Yeah.
but then you got Mickey Mouse also. So I don't know
right.
what you're
Well, I
doing.
don't know.
something with that.
Mickey,
I guess he was replenishing his fat cells
Dude.
and just finishing off those arteries.
I mean, he's like, screw the French fries. I'm
That's
going
right.
right to
Go
the
right
stove.
to- right to-
Yeah, they're in my-
Yeah.
Salt.
Yeah. These French fries weren't enough, but okay.
Obviously, there's some issues.
Oh,
You know,
man.
I mean, I'm no doctor, but I would
No.
say
Honestly, I don't know if there's a number you could pay me to drink that. I don't think I could.
Nasty.
I've
Little bit,
worked in plenty of
Little bit,
kitchens.
like I said.
they use it for
Like,
biodiesel to run their
sure.
vehicle. now?
But he
Biodiesel.
chugged
Converted to
class.
that's right. Ugh.
Ugh.
Well, he had
I
another
saw the
type of
video.
biodiesel
That's right,
converted
Betty
to
Yeah, yeah,
gas.
yeah.
not a-
Oh, man. He was a hippo, that's for sure. So, okay, so you're growing up in Florida.
Yep. Florida, yeah.
Football's massive down there,
Right.
right? But what was any sports you did or anything as a kid?
I did soccer.
Cool.
I did. So I'm trying to remember in the ages again. Then I'm
What?
getting old.
Soccer
man.
wasn't cool when he did it.
But soccer, but soccer's
Well,
gotta
that's
be
where the
huge in
French comes in.
Florida,
Correct.
right? Okay.
Yeah. We had, now mind you, this was a long time ago, but we had our own soccer team called the Rowdies.
Okay.
But I did soccer. I did a little bit of football,
Mhm.
wrestling. Those were the three as a kid.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Sucked at all of them.
Yeah. I
Awesome.
mean, sure. You know, no one's, we're not all blessed. You know what I mean? So, okay. So you're doing that down there and everything's going good. What, when was your first type of introduction to MMA or martial arts or anything like that?
Yeah. When we say martial arts, does, for example, boxing, wrestling?
Yeah. All that.
Or only
Yeah.
like the
all that.
karate kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did karate a little bit as a kid,
Mhm.
but never really stuck to it.
Okay.
Boxing the most,
Got it.
and then wrestling.
Yeah.
So boxing as a preteen, wrestling in high school,
Yeah.
and
Then he
then
went on to Zumba.
that's right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
capoeira.
Yeah.
There's a workout where you do like drumsticks, right? So, and then there was a huge hiatus where I didn't. So after first year or so of college, stopped wrestling,
Right.
and then I picked it up again. I want to say in my very late 20s, early
Yeah.
30s.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to a no-name technical college,
Very
Tampa
cool.
Technical Institute.
Tampa
And-
Tech.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the joke is I paid my student loan. What'd you do with college? Or what'd you do in college? I paid my student loan. That's all I did.
Hey.
You know,
There you go.
what'd you go to college for? A long time.
I love that joke.
Actually, for a little while, I actually did out of college what I went to college for.
Oh,
But then after that,
that's rare.
whoever does that,
Yeah.
after that is very different.
nice. So, okay. So you're living in Tampa. When was your first introduction to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Okay, you're gonna have to cut this
Mhm.
because it's gonna mess with my manly image.
Sure.
I don't know if I can say this because I always tell people, don't tell anybody I told you this.
Okay.
I did a number of years of ballroom dancing.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice ballroom dance.
Here we go, baby.
Yeah.
I would have
So-
never thought about
Well,
that.
no, the Russian. Oh God, what's the boxer?
Yes, the left-handed guy.
Lomachenko or whatever. Yeah.
Lomachenko.
Yeah, Lomachenko.
His father,
his,
yeah.
his dad made him do dancing.
Smart. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you now that helped with judo.
No.
Helps with judo. a lot.
That's how
Boxing
I got the
too.
name Twinkle
boxing.
Toes.
That's right.
Yeah. Isaac.
So
Valdez.
yeah. So I'm finishing up a lesson,
Twinkie.
and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. If I'm doing this, if I'm getting lessons for this, why can't I go get lessons for that? Why can't I go get
Yeah.
lessons for the other?
Yeah.
And I also had a boxing coach at the time,
Okay.
and one of the guys there. This is my favorite introduction to BJJ to answer your question.
Yeah.
One of the guys there, he was the next student for the boxing lesson. He said, I overheard you talking to Paul, the boxing coach. Have you ever heard of BJJ? And I'm like, what did you say to me?
Yeah. Whoa,
Yeah.
buddy.
And then he's like,
I'm
come here, let me
married.
show you
Yeah.
something. I'm going to get on the ground. You come here, we call it my guard, but you come in between my legs. And I'm like, BJJ, I'm going to get on
Yeah.
the ground. I'm
Coming
coming between my
the
legs.
Yeah, yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buy me
That-
dinner first, you know?
But
yeah.
that was my first introduction. I think the guy showed me an arm bar or something like that. And
Yeah.
I was hooked. Loving wrestling and then having that
Submission
done to me.
grappling.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually what happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, so once again, the idea was if I can get lessons in this, I can get lessons in all this. I thought my schedule was too busy, so I would just get privates. And I happened to stumble on a school that was just down the road from my house, and that was the beginning of the end, man.
Man, nice. So what year was this around? Do you have an idea?
So the jujitsu specifically was 32. I
Okay.
was 32 years old.
Okay.
So what year is that? 73 plus
62
32
now, so.
That's right. Yeah. So that was 7. I've been doing jujitsu for 17 years now.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Impressive, man.
I still have both my original hips. I can't straighten my arms all the way. I know I'm just telling you nothing new, right?
You've been training about as long as I've had my black belt.
I know. I remember learning that a few years back. That's
Yeah.
impressive, man. That's really impressive.
Yeah.
Got old.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's right.
So okay, so you're starting to train in jujitsu, and like you came from like a boxing, wrestling background and grappling. So do you have something that kind of like, you know, I remember when we had Padilla on the show, he had said he got his ass kicked the first day and was like, "This is for me."
100%.
And it's kind of
Same
like,
thing.
Got his
okay,
ass kicked for a couple days.
I want
And he
to
was
make
still
sure.
running
That's
his
right.
mouth.
yeah. Oh, dude, kidding.
I want to make sure something's clear, and you and I talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
So now I knew going into this, I was after JR. Now I'm after Padilla. That does not happen.
Well,
Never again.
yeah,
Never.
sorry.
I don't come after JR or Padilla.
Sorry.
So same idea.
Yeah.
So I remember for the longest time taking people down, no problem.
Yeah.
But taking the professor at the time, so who cares if I took him down? And he gets me this thing called an omoplata. Who cares if I take him down?
Yeah.
And he chokes me unconscious.
Yeah.
So I found out quickly that number one, they don't care if you take them down. And the other thing that took me 6 months to get over was being comfortable on my back. It was one of those things where I would not.
I agree.
Because a wrestler, we don't like being on our backs. And I would end up putting myself into something else.
I think the little bit of wrestling that everybody in this area comes up with, whether it be a year, 2 years, or 5 years,
invaluable.
what it does, especially early on before it is where it is now, it really helps you dictate where the match goes when you were competing, right? Because people didn't sit guard. But then the other thing that I think is a huge benefit is the scrambles. So wrestlers scramble with a purpose.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu guys scramble and had no clue. Now it's kind of a technique that's taught.
Yeah.
But back then that wasn't really taught. You had the basic guard, half guard, butterfly guard, side control, mount, back. There wasn't crucifix, there wasn't S mount, there wasn't any of these other options, which obviously are techniques, but they were all like in between or invisible jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, now you see, okay, you can do other things. So I think the scrambles in wrestling after the takedown is huge.
Oh, I agree. Well, now it's like you watch these kids now and the wrestling now, like a takedown is like impossible because of the scrambling. Like to be a good wrestler now, you don't like, you still need the basics of like strength and conditioning and technique, but you need to also be like a fucking gymnast and do parkour. Right? You know what I mean? Like
you have to have the flexibility more than the strength.
Yeah.
But I always go use wrestling in reverse. Just kind of like in the old MMA days, a lot of the guys that could strike and wrestle, Chuck Liddell being one, right? He used it in reverse to stay up on his feet.
Good point.
So I always, if I get somebody that's a real good wrestler, I wouldn't start him out in full guard because it kind of gets complicated. It's an unnatural position for him. I'd start him out in half guard with a single leg. And then I would go, get to your feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or sweep them.
Yeah.
And that's where I put them. Then we would stand and they would start with a single leg from standing. So they avoid the guard pass. You're not going to hold them down. So if they could just get into half guard, scoop you up, get a single leg, nothing crazy or technical, but they had such good balance and transition that even if you stepped over and you're able to mount, not, you know, obviously not getting your foot free, they would still, the hips are strong, explode out, and before you know it. So it became a position that just, you wrestle. Okay, I'm going to start you out on your feet. We'll put you in single leg on the ground. We're going to put you in single leg, but we call it half guard.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say too, I mean, one of the things you're saying too, when you first started, like getting comfortable going to your back, but also like the automatic, because when you're taught in wrestling, if you do get taken down, go right to your stomach.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like one of those, that's one of the toughest things I find to break.
Yeah. Now I'm lazy. Now I love being on my back. You've hooks.
I still not used to it.
Yeah.
It's opened up. There was a lot of stuff that was like, that's 100% wrong. That's 100% wrong. But I'm going to tell you right now, it all depends on the person. If they're super explosive and athletic, they can get away with making a lot of mistakes. You have to be that much more technical than them in order to capitalize.
Yeah.
So I think anymore, like, you get a big guy, good, strong guard passer, big, strong, heavy. The last thing you want to do is let them pass your legs. You almost have to sacrifice your back. And that's why you practice on getting out of back really good. And you can use that turtle position. That's become a whole nother position in itself.
I like turtle. I have to battle between, I like turtle and jujitsu, but turtle is horrible for self-defense. Because you were talking about someone athletic gets past your guard. That's Adam. Adam gets past my guard. It is
like an athletic panda bear.
Adam Shaw.
He moves like he's 50 pounds.
Oh, I agree.
His nickname's Twinkle Toes too.
I'll tell you. So for a guy, he's a big, strong guy for being that size. Like his movement is incredible.
He was actually clumsy when he was younger.
Really?
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, he didn't move. Yeah,
he's kind of worked into his.
Yeah. He's learned to, like you, and I would probably say within the last decade, he's made that change. But he first started with clumsy. Dancing. It could have been. I don't think he did ballroom dancing.
That's usually the cure, right? Yeah. That's what all the greats do.
That's right. I grew up in a family of being, would you believe or not, but I'm Hispanic. I am 50%.
With a name like Valdez,
I thought you were French.
The whitest Cuban you'll ever meet. A buddy of mine calls me the whitest Cuban you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
But you grow up and everybody's dancing.
Oh,
the music is awesome. So
I found that too, and I guess my wife's European, but in her culture as well, dance is massive as part of the culture. It's like
plays right into what you like to do.
Oh my gosh, you kidding? I'm like,
get a couple drinks in him.
Yeah.
Let's see swivel hips.
Yeah. So you're down in Tampa still, right? Because you do other forms of self-defense as well, right?
Yeah.
What got you how did you get introduced to that? How'd you get into that?
Sure.
Yeah.
So boxing and wrestling.
Yeah.
No problem. No concerns defending myself. Then jujitsu. I remember it was around purple belt. So still no concerns defending myself. And God forbid, I can run like the wind. I'm like Forrest Gump, so I can run.
So that's soccer.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the concerns started happening. Okay, now I'm married. Okay, hopefully she can run, or I can run quick enough for the both of us. I can defend the both of us.
Yeah.
Then we have our first child.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you now, boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, purple belt, being able to run against multiple people, you're not going to run and leave your wife and child behind. No. You're not going to be like, okay, little newborn, you got to run with us.
Yeah.
Your mom and I can run really fast.
Yeah. Hold your weight here. Yeah.
My wife will beat you up with her mouth.
Oh my God. That's the scariest.
Make me get Karen on you.
Yeah. She'll kill 10 of you. Yeah. So
I realized I'm kind of a neurotic little nerdy analytical.
I think that comes with having children though, because I have the same exact thoughts.
So you think, okay, I have to stay. I have to defend all of them. So I got to look into something else.
Yeah.
For multiple attackers, God forbid, people with weapons and
I got a newsie.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, Rich, did you had those thoughts? You must have had those thoughts too, right? Even physically, I feel pretty confident, even maybe against one or two guys, depending on the situation. Maybe they're drunk or whatever. But as far as weapons and things like that, because people can carry whatever, and you don't know what situation you're getting into, and depending where you're living, right? Did you have those thoughts too, Rich, or just defense of all the your wife and kids, right? Because I feel as a man, that's your job, right? You're part of you're the security.
You get people who train, and I actually had a woman police officer training with me, and I remember her going to me. Her nearest backup was 30 minutes away. Wow. And I just went, she goes, I don't want to get myself in trouble like what you're seeing on TV if someone's resisting, and I end up and I have to choke them. And I just went,
What's
you
the
know, something,
alternative?
if you have to worry about that, get out of that line of work.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's either you or them. That's
And
why
it-
there's
and it-
lawyers.
That's
Yeah.
right, man.
What do you want to end up? Because you might not be, you're a woman. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If you get some
You're
ass sitting behind a
Yeah.
desk going, oh, you were wrong. You shouldn't have choked him out, or you hurt his
Yeah.
neck.
Yeah.
Well, you know something? Too bad.
yeah. He shouldn't have been
He
swinging at a woman.
He shouldn't have been resisting.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in the middle of nowhere, 30-minute backup. You do whatever you got. And that means if there's a brick on the ground, it's going to end up upside his head.
Goddamn.
And then I'll choke him out on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Damn right.
So you can't be looking at, you're in a self-defense situation. Like, what are the do's and don'ts?
Right.
Yeah.
As soon as you start thinking that way, you might as well just hang it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I look at it as it's either me or them.
It ain't
And
gonna
if I
be
got to put them away, I got to put them away. I'm going to give two shits.
fucking right.
It
man.
is what it is. You're attacking me. I got my wife with me
Yeah.
who's disabled. I got to do what I got to do. So I'm not looking to sit here and make it,
Yeah.
feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're not gonna do
It's
this
going
the
to end
nice
quickly
way.
and
Yeah.
painfully.
Yeah.
And if you end up with the wrong end of it where
Yeah.
it permanently hurts you, too bad. I don't give two shits.
Yeah.
That's right.
You
Don't
asked.
even think
You
about it.
asked for it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even think about it. I just
Yeah.
make sure I'm in the right. I'm 100% in the right, and I'm defending.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving my ground. It is what, like I said, I got a wife that can't run.
Right.
So
Honestly, you're kind of defending them from Karen, if you look at it. Like
look, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I let her have her way,
Oh my
I
god!
remember the first time I met her, I stepped out of line and she put me right back in.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
like,
she'll do
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she'll do that.
So like, yeah, you're right. I am saving them from Karen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because whatever in her hand is probably going upside their head real
Oh,
quick.
yeah, that cane, she'll crush you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you get these guys on the mat where, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
Yes, I will do a shoulder roll. Yes, I will probably spend too much time in turtle.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to do it in the parking lot, why are you going to do it on the mat? I tell the story all the time of a possible confrontation in the parking lot of a nearby church, and it's like it may as well just be gravel. And I'm not going.
were you coming to that church or leaving that?
Yeah,
church?
we were coming to the church. No, it was for like a little get together, a little neighborhood.
But you weren't affiliated with that church.
correct?
Right, there's the problem.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just saw it.
good point. Good
So
point.
wait, what?
Well, no, thankfully,
Competition
nothing,
church.
nothing even came close. But the parking lot of that church is gravel.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even want to trip to pick up your keys.
Yeah.
It's that vicious. in
It's
the parking
slippery, yeah.
lot. And then so you imagine I'm going to do a double leg takedown. I'm going to pull guard. I'm going to go
Yeah.
inverted. I'm going to try it. No, you're not going to do that. You're
Yeah.
going to end up worse off.
Yeah.
So whatever I do on the mat, I don't get me wrong. I throw some sport in there once in a while to have some fun,
Right.
but it's mostly for self-defense.
Yeah, you're good too about like when going with the lower belt guys, like you go to the pace of the guy you're with,
Right.
and you're not
Right.
like, yeah, but like also like I remember when we would go and you would get me, I'm like, hey, well, how did I get into this? And
Yeah.
you're great at explaining
Oh,
that
good.
too. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I think that's part of it, right?
Mm.
Like, and I think because you do a great job teaching as well. I love your classes.
Appreciate that.
So, but when you can't, but what you're talking about before, like being a little neurotic and having a wife and having kids, and that's being part of the job. What other things were you branching off into besides jujitsu, judo,
Yeah,
boxing,
yeah.
all of that?
So it started off with, once again, my analytical mind, good or bad, and what it is. I love it because it pays the bills.
Yeah.
But okay, I have wife and at the time one, now two boys.
Yeah.
Not going to go running.
Mhm.
So I'm going to have to stand my ground.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do I have with me? I always have my hands with me.
Yeah.
But am I going to punch somebody, break a hand, not be able to do help with my children, God forbid, do some kind of first aid?
Mhm.
So then I started thinking, okay, weapons.
Mhm.
And pause there. I thought at first, okay, if I'm worried about weapons, maybe I need to go defend against a weapon.
Mhm.
So I must have done 6 months of just Krav.
Mhm.
And it just, for me, it wasn't doing it for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wasn't doing it for me. And that's when the little, I'll tell you straight up, it was a voice from my mama when I was a little boy.
Yeah.
I would piss her off constantly when I was little
Yeah.
because I would just destroy anything. You name it, I would destroy this.
Now you're a fixer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she says to me once, she was pissed because
Mhm.
I think it was a coffee maker I destroyed.
Yeah.
And she's like, when are you going to grow up and realize if you want to break things, you got to learn how to make them. You got to learn how to fix them. And so I'm an engineer today.
Damn.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
like that.
Right,
yeah.
right. And she probably said that not to turn me into an engineer, but to,
Yeah.
Just to like
me
quit
from
breaking my shit.
destroying your
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
you would like you see something like I want to
Yeah.
take this apart, see how it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite story, and I told this to my boys. I tell my kids all the time, you're not going to get in trouble for certain things because I did worse.
Yeah.
But my mom's coffee maker,
Uh-huh.
she was complaining once, and this is just a whatever side story.
Yeah.
She was complaining about her coffee being cold.
Okay.
So I thought, I'm going to take the coffee maker and I'm going to rip off the 2/3
Yeah.
so she can put her cup on the burner. And I'm going to plug it in. Who cares about the fire hazard? Who cares about the
I
electrical
was just going to
hazard?
say there's a lot of.
That's right. So I, where the pot goes to keep the pot hot, I cut everything else off. And I just gave that to my mom. Here you go, Mom. So now she had no coffee because I destroyed her coffee. But I gave her a little gift. I put a bow on it, and she's like, "I can't kill this.
Yeah. What
It's cute, but I want to strangle him."
what is this? A coaster?
So, right,
Yeah,
exactly. It was a heated coaster.
That
It was the
wasn't
first
too,
ever.
That wasn't too bad though. At least it was
Yeah.
just cold coffee.
Right.
I had a younger brother that turned one of our old vacuum cleaners into a vacuum for getting out soot from your fireplace.
Okay. Right.
Didn't go well.
Oh, did he forgot to put like the end on it and just
The filtering system wasn't
Able
able
to
to
blow. It blew up.
He put his own filters in it the whole
Okay.
and he went. I mean, we just had
Yeah.
brand new paint, carpet.
Oh my god.
I came home. I'm like, "What the hell you doing?" Open up. I mean, you could just see the tips of
Yeah.
his when he took off his glasses.
Oh
It's a little. He goes, I think we open up a couple windows. The dust settles. This thing, that fireplace is clean. I go, yeah, because
It's everywhere else.
the freaking house. You jackass.
Yeah.
Like, sorry about that. We'll just gotta wipe it down a little bit. That's
Yeah.
it.
That makes
Yeah.
it
Oh my god, he was nuts.
Yeah.
My dad always said, "There's no way that boy came from my line."
Yeah.
But he was the crazy younger brother.
Yeah.
So that was one of his little.
Yeah.
And he was a tinker.
Those stories, I'm glad I'm an only child.
All right. I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, no, I have a sister. We jokingly say a sister from another mister,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
We
grew up an only child.
Yeah, I had my I have a similar story. My mom, do you remember Dirt Devils? The
Yeah,
vacuum?
yeah.
The Dirt Devil.
Yep.
My mom had one and it didn't work. And she was like, she'd always said to us, like, you're not gonna be like, she's like, you're not gonna be a fucking rocket scientist. Like learn. She always pushed
Thanks,
like
Mom.
learn a
That's right.
trade. You
Yep,
know, like
yep.
that was her thing. Like, get a
Yeah,
trade under your
yeah.
belt. You're gonna be fine. There's
Yeah.
you're not fucking, you're no chemist. You know what I mean?
A father's gene pool.
Yeah, yeah.
They always beat each other.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you're just like your father.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so she was like, "Hey, here's a Dirt Devil. It's not really working. How about you look at this? Maybe we'll see if you could do anything." And I fucking just destroyed it. I didn't do anything with it. So she's like, "All right, maybe not the trades either. What are you gonna do?" Yeah,
Well,
but
I didn't tell any stories about how I would torture the cat.
yeah, sure. I
I
mean,
just told one little story about
That's Tampa, not
That's-
Yeah,
Seattle, Washington.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
real again, just being an engineer even as a little kid, I just didn't know it yet.
yeah,
My engineer mind kicked in. I got to stay put, got to protect my family. Maybe it's to protect them against weapons. So I took a little time trying to learn how to
Yeah.
defend against weapons. That was Krav.
yeah,
It just didn't do it for me.
yeah.
So then that's when, again, like my mama said, in my mind, if I want to defend against this, how about you learn to use it?
Yeah.
So that's when I looked up what kind of weapons do people carry every day? What arts focus on being able to use those weapons? And that's when I ended up with Kali.
Yep.
But this is where it's 100% true blessing.
Okay.
Just like grappling, jiu-jitsu, there are many different kinds. We got RENZO, GRACIE,
Yeah.
you got this, you got that.
Yeah.
When you say Kali, there are many different kinds.
And what is
Kali is Filipino.
okay?
Filipino
Sticks.
martial arts, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sticks,
The
blades,
screamer is
karambit.
same
Like a-
thing, right?
Correct. Same idea. And so you got Kali, think of that as the root, and one of the branches is PTK,
Okay.
Pekiti-Tirsia Kali. And that's far
Oh,
more
I'm thinking
militarized.
BK. Oh.
Yeah.
But, and
It's
this,
far more
and this
militarized.
is in Tampa. You're doing this.
Yeah, and what's awesome about that, this is a blessing part, is the guy who would become my PTK Kali instructor. There's an amazing following. We could talk about the boring names and lineage, but there's an amazing following, an amazing presence for PTK Kali in the Tampa Bay area.
Oh, so you kind of
Yeah.
lucked out that they had
Totally
such a
lucked out.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And very much like what you do, I called him. We spent 2 hours on a phone call to make sure I'm not some crazy guy.
Yeah.
Okay, come out. Let's see. We can do public lessons, public classes only for a while. Then when I really proved myself, I really wasn't a crazy person. We did privates.
Yeah.
It was great.
Nice. And so, okay. And what's kind of like
That was 12 years ago.
and what are kind of like the base lessons? I'll tell you, you know, what's the best thing when we were talking about this, and I absolutely love this. You said in any fight, your first move is, okay, sorry,
You're right.
we're done. Yeah, we're out of here.
You're right.
Yeah. Like
So
your first.
it's talk like an Italian, right?
Yeah.
I got
Talk
that.
with your hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I
Your
tell-
hands are up.
Yeah.
what I tell people, and I always say, depending upon what your need is, maybe we work well together, perfect together, maybe not. For example, I was talking to a police officer the other day, and some of the things that I was talking about, he's like, yeah, I can't use that. I can't do that. But for me, I jokingly say my fight is to get home and tell my kids to eat their vegetables.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, some things for police officer, maybe some not. First responder, bouncer.
Well, plus
They
you
have to
think
look
of-
at it in a way where, and I get it when people are learning, but I go, you have to learn something complete and then you use it for what you need to go, oh, I'm just going to disregard that. And I can't use it is the wrong thought process.
Right.
Because there might be a time where it's not like I have to worry about getting sued. And I heard that you might need to save your life or your partner's life. And I'm not worried about lawsuit.
Right.
And I think
There's
a lot of these guys are
priority there.
so afraid to make a move now that they're literally disarming themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I agree. They're afraid they're afraid to serve and protect because they think like, you know, they might be doing something right, but then goes.
Well, the people behind the desk that are running the show, unfortunately, they don't have their back.
Yeah, I agree.
No, they don't. And that's why the body cameras are huge
Yeah,
on everybody. That
Yeah.
makes a big difference.
big
But
time.
if I got somebody attacking me, trying to get my weapon, gloves off.
Yeah. Oh, heck
Gloves
yeah.
off of that.
There
I
should
gave
be
you
a law.
commands.
Yes.
I asked you to comply.
Right.
You're not. I'm trying to cuff you. You're resisting.
Yeah.
They start fighting, and either they got a weapon or they're going after your weapon. Once they engage in some type of
There's
aggressive
a line.
manner,
Yes.
there's a line. Now, I'm not saying haul off and beat the crap out of them, but I need to get them under control. And whatever that force may be,
Yep.
so be it. I'm not worried about, oh, if I hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They cross the line. That's it. That's it. That's the
I think that's why you're finding, that's going to be the difference whether you're going to survive or not. Because if you're going in with that mentality that, I got to watch, I might get sick. You might time to get out of the profession.
Yeah.
And you're finding a lot that are.
Yeah.
You can't be worried about that. You obviously you want to make sure you have good legal counsel.
Sure.
And you're not going out there trying to hurt anybody, but you got to make it home.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be a Monday morning quarterback.
Yes.
You take those same
I
people
like that one.
and you put them in that situation.
They would do
they-
worse.
oh my God, hell yeah.
First they'd shit themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
You just go, here you go. I'm gonna have someone freaking pull a weapon on you.
And
Yeah.
they've done
Yeah.
studies of that. They've actually done, I remember, of course, it was on YouTube,
Yeah.
watching an episode of some show where a reporter that had been very critical of law enforcement for
Mhm.
years
Yeah.
was invited out by law enforcement and put into several situations. And he actually did worse than what a trained officer would do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I don't want to hear it.
I love too that we have a massive police
Yeah.
presence here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think jiu-jitsu
I think
is
it should
great
be
for
a
that.
must.
That's
I
why
think it's great. Yeah.
that's why I vet everybody that comes
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
One, families, women, kids, law enforcement, doctors.
Mhm.
They don't need to be dealing with people they just arrested, or maybe they had somebody come in, they're all
Right.
wound up on drugs, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. We're not trying to reform. Yeah.
So unfortunately, sometimes this place isn't the place. We try and be an open door policy, but obviously you have to protect the people that are here. You're not getting a drink at the water fountain.
No.
We're actually going to be rolling around and in each other's faces. So everybody has to be respectful
And
of each
people
other.
kind of have like, we've talked about before, like someone could leave their wallet out,
Oh, yeah.
and like, like it wouldn't be touched. That's the kind of place it is. We can't be worrying about that.
No. No.
There's a big difference between a fighter and someone who likes to fight.
Yes.
And people who like to fight don't like to get their asses beat.
Yep.
So people who like to fight, they don't last here because you're
Yes.
going to get your ass beat.
Yeah. They like to
daily.
fight people that are weaker
Correct.
than
Well, they pick their
Correct.
opponents.
yeah.
I had 50 fights.
No, the
Who picked them?
resumes.
You did. Oh,
Yeah.
at the bar. Okay.
At the bar. That's right.
Somebody smokes, drinks, not trained.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're 75. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, they're a tough guy.
Yeah.
You know, remember the guy we had come through that he He's probably in his 50s at the time. So I'm thinking this guy's
Just the
probably
guy
around
that
my
made up his own martial art.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Oh, we're gonna talk about it.
That guy,
Yeah.
and I tried to,
Yeah,
look,
he
I
was-
just want to get some
Yeah.
some fights in. And I go, well, what style do you
Mhm.
train in? What kind of training? Basically self-taught.
Right. No,
He
it was
couldn't even
good.
fill out the visitor pass. It looked like a kid that was like 4 or 5 years old. Right?
Yeah.
I had to get my buddy Eric Madungo
Yeah.
to decipher it
Yeah.
because he's used to being, deciphering these applications.
Yeah.
That's what he did. And he
Yeah.
goes, a lot of people, you're not very educated. I mean, they would
Yeah.
write like this. So
Yeah.
he would break it down for me. I'm like, that said that. It would be something so simple,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
how the hell? He goes, I'm just used to seeing it and just it's like a code.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But this what the guy did. So I didn't know any of it. So he deciphered it for me, and I go to the guy. I said, "Look, why don't you I'll take you over here. We'll take the Muay Thai kickboxing class. Just take the general class, and then we'll see where you're at afterwards." He's doing it. And I remember Dan had to warm it up a little bit, and he goes, "Hey, what's the whole idea with this burpee thing?" Because I don't know how that's going to work. You know what I mean? And Dan
It's
goes,
not a technique.
we're doing
That's right.
calisthenics.
Right. You got to
What?
warm up, man.
What's the name of that technique again? I'm like, oh my God. This
Jesus.
guy, but you deal with all kinds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
All you want to do is get in the ring and do some sparring. He could barely make it through the class. And then what's this burpee thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then his answer to everything was, I would gouge you in the eyes, hit you in the throat, and then rip your groin off.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's like, what?
5-finger exploded.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
you go anywhere near.
Finger death punch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exploding
I think Greg Makovich said something. He goes, anywhere near my groin, I'm going to smash his face. It was Greg or somebody.
Oh yeah.
He goes, anywhere near my groin, I'm going to smash his face.
This guy, I mean, I remember when I used to teach the morning classes here, there was a 10 a.m. class, and I just remember one time this kid showed up. He had a wife beater on, white
There it
tank
is, man.
top.
He was in Florida.
He had jeans, and I think he had like boots on. He had ridden his bike here from Quakertown down 309, and I was like, this guy's dude. He was like, he came in and just like was moving nonstop, punching out. I was like, this.
Oh yeah, all
I
wound
was
up.
all
on something.
messed up
Oh,
on
yeah,
whatever.
something.
Yeah, glassed up. Yeah, oh yeah. And he's like, right away, he's like, I'm ready for a fight. I'm ready. I'm like, bro, you
Put me
need,
in, coach.
yeah,
Yep.
you need some sleep, pal.
Firing up for
Like, you're
3
pretty
days.
whacked
Right.
up, bud. Yeah,
Go up the street to the bar.
yeah,
Get
yeah.
in, get yourself a couple drinks, and just move
Yeah.
on.
Buy some Xanax and take a nap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
So okay, so it's PTK. Is that what?
PTK Kali, yes.
So that's
Not BTK.
oh, don't want to make that
Torture
mistake.
kill.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The BTK.
That's when you said that. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So
Pekiti-Tirsia.
okay, so what kind of things were like, how does that start? How do you start learning that? Because I find that's like I love
Yeah.
what's one thing I always talked about like to my wife. I remember I was like, I would love to take a fencing class because it's a form of combat.
Yep.
There's so many forms, like, hey man, if the world goes to shit, we don't know how to make bullets. I'll
Right.
tell you, swords are gonna be pretty fucking cool then, you know?
That's like a gentleman's sword fight,
Yeah,
right?
So
Yeah.
you get I can answer your question in a moment, but on the fencing thing,
Mhm,
you get a lot of people that bust our chops because of the sticks that we do.
mhm.
But take out the stick, it's an asp. Take out the asp, it's
It's a what?
Asp
What's in it?
baton.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was
All right.
gonna say an ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's an asp.
We've all left
Okay.
a bunch of asses around. Yeah.
So,
So
ass.
okay, so
That's
it's an
right,
ass.
ass.
Yeah.
You know, the batons. The
Yeah,
I didn't know that was the name of
Yeah,
it.
like a billy club, right?
Yeah.
And then I tell the people who are interested in why is stick relevant, I tell them the story. I've got a neighbor, poor thing, she's exceptionally attractive.
Mm.
And
Tough life.
as some idiots, they gravitate to latch on to poor thing, poor lady has had the police out to the house. And she's my neighbor
Yeah.
a couple of times because of some idiot bothering her. I didn't,
Yep.
I spoke to the husband about it briefly. I don't remember if it was work
Yeah.
or what, but here's my
And I was
point.
really upset that you called them.
on me, right? I couldn't-
Okay. So
So-
sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
The reason why I bring this up is I'm in the backyard working on my garden. And what do I have with me? I have some fairing strips that I'm going to use for the fence. I have my level. And I see 2 police cars rush in. I grab a fairing strip. That's a stick.
Ooh.
It doesn't have to be a sword.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a Filipino rattan stick.
Broomstick.
Yeah. Whatever you could grab whatever
Tennis
the hell you want.
racket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid's got a hockey
Louisville
stick.
slugger.
Yeah, yeah.
My boy
I ain't used them
now,
for years.
He loves videoing him and his little band. So it could be a tripod.
Yeah.
It could be I have to go to a questionable part of Pottstown after this. It could be a spackle knife that I need to fix the ceiling.
Yeah.
It just does not matter.
Yeah.
I remember when I was really drawn in, my PTK professor said, I don't care if it's a rock, I don't care if it's your cell phone, I don't care if it's an actual what the weapon is designed for. We're going to tell you the same motions, and those motions are transferable.
Really? That's fascinating. So anything like you could hold it any way and it's still the same motion, same
Correct.
thing.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
fascinating.
So
When I was younger, they take a handful of change in your pocket.
oh, there we
They're
go.
like, hey, someone's like in your face. You need to buy a second.
Mm,
Boom.
Really?
What do they do?
distracted.
Yeah.
It
It's a
just,
distraction.
you know,
And now, yeah, do whatever.
and then boom, you shoot in,
Yeah,
you take them down. What
done.
do you want to
Yeah.
do? You know what I mean?
That's
Now,
a great idea. Yeah.
maybe if you're
Mhm.
not as attractive of a woman, you might not have these.
Right. Right.
Karen's older
neighbor,
brother
she's
used to be
gonna-
married to a woman.
Right.
Her name was
Sure. Well,
Karen's
I'll blow the
dad.
name.
That's right.
Karen's dad used to go, Pat, come here, let me see them glasses you got. I'm like,
You need
he
stronger.
looked-
You need a better
He's
prescription.
like, yeah, I thought these were Betty Davis glasses, these
Yeah.
things. Boy, that's just a nice lady. He's like, gee, she put the U in ugly. And I'm like, oh my God, Karen, your dad is brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, you're marrying an old shovel face over there.
He's like, she did the freaking the 100-yard dash in a 50-yard room.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And then her brother's like,
I'm going to use
Dad.
that. That's good. I'm going to steal that.
He's
one
like,
for sure.
Dad, she's not the most attractive, blah, 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 but she's really nice. And,
Yeah,
this
she
and that.
cooks.
And he's like, what the freak, boy? Like, I just don't have kids.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
He goes, I know. She got touched by the ugly branch. He goes, the whole fucking tree hit her. He goes, Jesus Christ, boy.
What movie was it?
He's a Ryan. I was thinking Sonny, man.
Yeah.
It just was old fashioned Italian
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Whenever he said something,
Oh,
it was like,
yeah.
when he said about the
I
attractive,
love it.
he goes to Pat, leave the doors unlocked. You ain't gotta worry about a damn thing.
Yeah. No one's breaking in here.
You
Yeah.
ain't gotta worry about anything.
Yeah.
What movie? I love movies.
Yeah,
What movie
same.
was it where the guy's like, fellas, I'm just going to tell you now, don't marry an ugly woman.
Yeah.
And it's so true.
Yeah.
Again, all the web warriors out there, kid.
Yeah.
Put in the comments. Put the
What?
answers.
Yeah. Please. Okay. So you're in Tampa. You're married. You have
There you go.
kids. You're doing the PTK. What is the progression like that? Is it a belt system or?
This is the great thing. There is a ranking system.
Okay.
I don't know what it is
Oh, wow.
because
Doesn't
I
matter.
honestly doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I very much like this. I am in it for what are my deficiencies? What can I use?
Yeah.
Hey, don't get me wrong. When I first started jujitsu, yes, the stripes matter.
Yeah.
The good
Yeah.
thing is in my first crew, we had this guy, we called him the stripe hunter.
Mm.
So he was a good example of what not to do.
Mm.
So a lot of us would not care about stripes, and the belts are just a bigger bullseye.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
And it's-
interestingly
yes.
enough, I got this pissed me off. Every time I would get promoted, I always got tapped out by the lower belt. My blue, a white belt tapped me. I got my purple, a blue belt tapped me.
Yeah.
I'm like, son of a
Yeah.
You can't put it on,
No,
on
No.
can't.
belts. I just go, you do it for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You get to where you
It's your
got
own
to.
journey.
Yes. And look,
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
But
long as
there
you can
are
protect yourself in the street, you're good.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed because all I know is like Tuhan and Guru. How dare I put that out of order? Guru and Tuhan. I'm sure there's a bunch before and a bunch between, but
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Poo-poo.
So
Well,
we
what-
have
okay, yeah.
Tuhan Tim Wade in Tampa,
okay.
and again he developed PTK Kali,
In Tampa.
and then he's in the Bay Area. we'll
Okay.
say.
Okay.
And then
But you're saying like he's a big part of a big component as to why the community's so big down there.
Correct.
Okay.
and so if
In that
someone-
particular art.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct, in that art, yes.
Yeah.
So, for example, if someone is into jujitsu and we say RENZO GRACIE, they're like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah.
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 Or they're into PTK Kali, they say Tim Wade.
Do they merge down there well? Because I think You've seen that with remember with the Dog Brothers, they were real popular,
Right.
but you've seen the merge of the Kali, the Eskrima, and the knives.
Yeah.
You've seen that integrated into jiu-jitsu,
Good question.
which I love.
You kind of do that too. though.
That's my preference.
Yeah.
So for example, Saturday, a bunch of people calling me out because they love smack talking.
Yep.
And my answer was, yeah, I'm happy to roll, but is it okay if I use my weapons? And
Yep.
they're like,
Makes you
I
think.
got to go.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm giving them a hard time, but
Yeah.
the point is, yes, I'm happy to play around and roll Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But when I come in on Saturday, I want to focus on my PTK. I want to, bring in
You're doing your thing.
You know what the main difference is? Whether you're grappling or standing up. When someone has a weapon, your focus is on that weapon.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go doing a triangle in the street because, well, if I do, I want to grab their hands. I want to know where their hands are because I don't want a new outdoor.
Yeah.
This guy's got a knife on him or something.
Yeah.
Typically, you're looking for some type of control.
Yeah.
Working in the clubs when I was younger, and nightclubs, and doing security for bands and stuff. Like that was the main thing. Mugs were the most.
Yeah.
They
got a
don't
built-in
even really have those anymore.
No, I mean,
And they stopped doing glass. It's either tin, like a lot,
I
and
almost
like
got cracked by
plastic. Oh, you know how many times I've got it thrown at me and all that? You kidding? And they're starting to get rid of those. Pints are they're on the end of those. They're going more plastic.
Oh,
cup.
you can do some serious damage.
Oh,
Now that was always my main concern. So I looked at that like if it was a knife, a gun. We did have a guy come in with a taser one time. That ended up bad for him.
yeah.
I remember working the door. I was the good thing is there was 2-3 steps up into the club. So we were able to look really, really deep down the line and just identify people.
Mhm.
And of course we would walk up and down the line. And I remember once hearing this guy, I'm coming back up the line
This
towards
is
the
in
door.
Tampa?
This is in Tampa.
Okay.
I worked the door at a couple clubs
Nice.
in college. It was nice. I heard this guy. He didn't know I was walking up behind him because I was walking back to the door. He said something to the effect of, "You see that cop? I beat his partner's ass." I go up to the officer because these are our.
There you're. Hey, yeah. Oh, you're in it together. Oh, yeah. You're in it together for sure.
And I tell him, and he looks at him, and he's like, but long story short, the guy is a local kickboxing champion. He goes down to talk to him. Well, again, I'm going to leave for commentary. I'm going to leave some things out. But the guy, the kickboxer said, "Oh, no, we're cool, man. I have no problem with you." And the officer said, "That's good because I'd hate to waste a bullet on you." I never forgot that stuff. I mean, those are one of those things where the police, they deserve the respect.
Amen.
I don't know why that guy would even be bragging about something like that.
I think that's something that they're trying. I don't know. At least at like my daughter's school, what they reiterate to her: the police keep you safe.
Correct.
You know what I mean? That's something that I think
The community that needs it the most is the one they're
Yes.
They're chasing them out.
Makes no sense.
And the people there they want them there.
Right. You got some really loud voices that are given too much of a microphone, and they need to stop.
You see
I tell my boys,
anarchy without.
I tell my boys, if we're running out of a situation and someone's running in, they're the heroes.
Amen
And
to
those
that.
are the police, those are the fire,
Yeah.
those are the rescue.
The ambulance.
Well,
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
hey, if you're on the side of the road and you see a cop struggling with a suspect, I'm pulling over and helping.
That's right.
I'm going to pull over and help him out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to leave him there struggle. Who knows?
Yeah.
What kind of position he's going to be in. But
Yeah.
obviously, you gotta be careful on that end of it too. But
Yeah.
I remember just working in the clubs. There's people we had thrown out, and then
They 100%.
cops would come, and then sometimes they needed help just getting a hold of these people to get them, uncuffed. I remember one time it was a woman, and
Oh, they're wildly,
her
man.
boyfriend beat her up.
Jesus.
So I took care of him.
Yeah.
Then I tossed him out,
And she's giving you shit.
jumped on my back.
She
She's trying
How
to
dare
punch
you.
me. I'm like covered. And I'm like,
she got smacked up by the boyfriend. You tossed him out, and now she's jumping on your back.
I tossed him out, but
Yeah.
made his life miserable.
Well, you fucking bet.
But-
You don't hit
But that's the right. And he was drunk and he was a mess. And why I get him outside and he's on the ground, I'm getting law enforcement to come out and get his ass because he's going to jail.
Yeah.
I'm
Fuck yeah.
turning around to go back in to see if she's okay. She got up and she attacked me
Right.
for hurting him.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
I'm like this, so I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
ding, 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 pull
Yeah.
her off.
Yeah.
And she's like up above me. I just went, ding.
Yeah.
Yep. You're going
I
to.
tossed her. She hit the ground. Boom. Didn't move. I'm like, oh my god.
She got the wind knocked
I
out.
got the wind out there. So I go over. Like, are you all right? And I held her there. The cops come.
Yeah.
And they didn't know. So they're just like, hey, get off of her. Leave her alone. They don't know who's anybody. I'm like,
Yeah.
look, I work here. I'm just restraining her too. She's a little out of hand.
Yep.
She's small, but I'm telling you.
She's a feisty one.
She's a
it was
firecracker.
It was a young guy,
Yeah.
young
Officer. Yeah.
new.
Yeah.
Get off of her now or I'm taking you. And I'm like, okay, I'm just doing you a favor. I get up. She runs over, literally right up the middle. Kicked
Yeah.
him. Bang! Like, I told he's like, oh, and collapsed over. He took off running. I said, I told you.
Yeah.
So I had to go and get her,
Yeah.
get her back. And then the other guys came. They're like, yeah, rookie.
I'll tell you, one time I was working the bar and this guy, there was these guys in one, the type of bar this was, is that they only bought plastic furniture because all the other ones would get broken.
That's right.
And then this is what happened. There was a group of guys in there that were celebrating their one buddy just got out of prison. Right.
Oh,
So they're in there having some drinks, right?
Yeah.
And then there's another guy in there, younger kid, red hair. He's there with his girl and whatever. The guy just got out. He said was like making eyes at his girl. Then the guy just got out, dropped this kid, right?
Yeah.
And then the kid gets back up and he's like trying to get into the guy's face. And I had saw like the younger kid had started it and agitated it. Maybe the guy pulled the trigger a little too fast, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, let's get this guy's the instigator, get him out.
Right.
Yep.
So we take him out. We're dragging him out. The whole bar, he's got the whole bar in an uproar. Like, get this fucker out of here.
Yeah.
Like they're all sick of this guy. We get him out. We throw him out on the front. He runs to a car, rips off the side view mirror. Now this is a bar that's owned by ex cop. So a bunch of cops and firemen hang out there. There was a cop there, right? And he was off duty and he was like, look, these guys are handling it. I was gonna let it go, but that's destruction of property, and I saw it and I can't let it go. And so he gets the kid, puts him up against the car, and the kid's like, hey, let me go, man, let me go. And I fucking love this guy for saying this. He said, you don't shut up, I'm gonna pistol whip you till the backup gets here. I was just like, I want this kid to keep fucking dying. You know?
Little redhead, huh?
But the same thing you were saying, the cops take the dude away, and mind you, these two, the redhead and his girl, had been drinking at the bar for like 8 hours, right?
Oh boy.
And they take the kid, they take the redhead away, and now the girlfriend's going nuts, right? And she's like, "You can't take him away. I'm pregnant." But they were drinking for 8 fucking hours. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, that's just, Rockstar Maniac. How you doing?
Yeah, right.
You know the deal. You know the deal.
Yeah, my old stomping ground.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's a lot like Florida over there.
All this happened.
For hills.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The girls got glutes on them.
Oh, the
In the
calves.
hills?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
calves
Like
and
two
glutes.
basketballs in their shorts.
Oh man, you know, yeah,
It's hills.
you know, a Rockstar Maniac girl. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
It's not California where they're
No.
plants now.
Okay.
Float to the top.
Oh yeah. So you're in Tampa. You do the PTK, and then you come up here, right? And this was what, like 9-10 years ago?
9. Yep. So we had our youngest. He was
Okay.
2.5. We were on our way to having our second.
Okay.
Sorry, we had our oldest. On our way to having our second.
Got it.
And bottom line is we want to be near family.
Yes.
I have nothing but wonderful memories growing up with my grandparents.
Yeah.
So we moved up.
Okay.
The joke is, I've told Professor this before, I have the kind of family where it's really easy to move away from them.
Okay.
So-
Yeah.
And there's no Valdez family reunion. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that,
Distance.
but that's what you want.
Distance,
But you
that's right.
wanted for your kids. You wanted them cousins, uncle, like you wanted.
Correct.
Okay.
Grandma, grandpa.
Yeah.
Nothing but good memories with my grandmother and grandfather. So
Yeah.
I wanted that for them.
See, that's one thing I didn't have. That like I had one grandmom, and like, did you ever see Goonies?
Yeah.
She was like the mom from Goonies for
Okay.
telling,
Yeah.
she was brutal, right?
Love
And then, but I never met like any other grandparents, right? And so like, it was really important to me, the same thing, to have a great relationship
Right.
with the grandparents. I think that's fantastic. So you have 2 boys, you're up here now,
Yep.
right? And so what kind of work are you doing up here now? We know, and what we've talked about it. We talked about your link to your YouTube channel, but what's
Right.
the kind of work you're doing now?
What pays the bills is I'm actually a computer guy. I'm a computer nerd. So
Hey,
we have our own business, 23 years now.
Uh-huh.
And in one way or another, it does 3 main things. either I teach technical classes, or so I'm in front of people, or I'm on Zoom, for example.
Yep.
Or I write technical classes that then other people will teach, or I do whatever it is I'm teaching. I actually go to a customer and do that for them.
Wow.
So, for example, last Saturday, I wasn't able to make it because I had to do a last minute trip out to Western PA, really, really close to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
A little town called Evansburg.
Okay.
Evansburg.
Yeah. By Norton, like below Johnstown, right?
Yes.
Okay. I know where you're at.
driving through that. And just did some weekend geeky stuff, computer stuff. So
Hey,
that
dude,
pays
I'll
the
tell you,
bills.
they call that nerd and geek stuff now, but that's the life, brother.
I'll take
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Take it all day long.
Amen to that, pal. I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many times
Right.
I was closing the bar thinking like, I just wish I had a job.
Right.
I could sit
Yeah.
the fuck down in the computer.
I was 16, roofing
Oh,
in Florida.
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Damn.
I'm up there because
As fair skinned as you are.
and so you got the do rag to cover the neck.
Yeah.
and
55-gallon drum of
Yeah.
freaking
That's right.
100.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically in a kiddie pool of SPF 50. Yeah.
We're starting real early because you don't want to be in the sun from
Oh,
11:30 to 2:30. So,
yeah.
but I'm up there on the roof, scraping the old shingles off,
Yeah.
and I go too hard at it, and I slip and I fall. I of course go down belly first down the garage. Thankfully, it was on the garage.
Yeah.
And do like I'm old here, so I'm gonna quote the Fall Guy, but I do a Fall Guy forward flip and I land on my back.
Oh,
Thankfully on the side of the garage. But my point is, the whole time I'm like, I'm fucking going to college.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Man. I'm gonna
yeah.
be.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
oh, yeah.
choose, for example, I got to go do some wannabe run. I got to go paint this and paint that.
But
I'm
you
gonna
learn to
choose
skill.
do that. Yeah,
But you learn the skill and you can use that.
correct.
When I was younger, I did one with a guy named Terry Sedemeyer,
Mhm.
16. He did some roofing. He was a flooring guy, but then he would do some roofing too. Very talented guy.
Yeah.
And I would help him out. He paid me really well, but I hated heights.
Yeah.
Scared to death of heights.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing a big house out here in Hilltown.
Yeah.
He did the flooring in it, and then we're coming back through the roof. So he's like, Rich, don't worry about it. You just help me get the shingles up. And I remember starting out, I had like one shingle. Like,
You're going like,
I'm like, but after like 2 days,
you're just,
the fear I wasn't, and I'm packing them up and carrying them up.
Yeah.
But he did a chicken wire a chicken ladder
Okay.
from one to the other, which is just thin wire with a thin board, and basically it hooks on the roof. And it allows you to drop down on the level, right?
I see.
On the main one,
Yeah.
and it drop you down.
Yeah.
And he was a bigger guy, and he's like, "Don't worry about it, Rich." And he's moving around, and I mean, there was a little gap, and I got to the point where I was feeling calm, jump right over, and I didn't even think
That's
about
when
it.
it happened.
I couldn't even do it in the beginning.
Yeah.
You get comfortable.
And he was extremely comfortable. So I'm up there, opening a pack of shingles, blah, blah, blah. He's Rich, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to start setting some stuff, some tar paper up, blah, blah, blah. Get that done, start getting me some shingles. And then I hear, oh, shit. The chicken ladder broke. He slid down the thing. Boom. Landed. Broke his freaking leg.
Oh,
Compound fracture.
oh,
You're
back.
finishing the roof all by yourself.
Yeah. Well, I had no.
yeah.
But yeah.
Oh.
And it was just,
Did he knock the ladders down with you on the roof?
Yeah,
I could
so
get-
you're up there.
I could get down the main ladder. I wasn't. I'll tell you right now, the confidence that I had built up
Oh,
over
sure.
that week,
Sure, yep.
that was out the window.
Yeah, as soon as
I'm
you
like,
saw
this
his
is
bones.
exactly why I don't like heights.
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh.
I was like 16, 17.
Yeah.
Nope, never again. I was like, hell with that. I will pay somebody. I don't give a shit.
Love it.
Ain't happening.
So your company, do you own it or do you?
Yes. Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So
Blessed. 23 years now.
oh, that's incredible. So
Mm.
we'll have links in for the description. You have a website and everything.
Oh, I could provide that, but yeah, maybe. Yeah,
entirely
listen,
up to you.
I don't know. I don't mind. I don't have it. No, I don't even have had a website back in the day when it was a cool thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Do you have socials or anything for it? We'll have the
here's
YouTube channel.
the great thing. I like to separate the personal and the business
Yeah.
because if anyone ever saw my personal,
Oh, they wouldn't want to do that.
yeah. So
Or they would want to do it. Yeah.
right, the old school computer people, we call it handle.
Yeah.
So it's the letters IVCSINC, IVCSINC, and it's everywhere. I literally go and squat. Oh, what? years ago, Instagram's new. Let me create an account for my handle, and I never use Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, TikTok is new. Let me create an account for my handle so nobody else can get it. So yeah, it's IVCSINC.
Perfect. We'll have links in the description of this episode. Definitely check him out. Look him up if you're interested in that or need some of his help. You'd be more than happy to.
Computer guy.
Yeah, we'll have a place where you can reach out. Man, I'll tell
Fix
you.
and repair.
So I do
And
corporate
security,
stuff.
too.
Yeah, I do what's called infrastructure and security. So
Kind of like
all
when you
of
set
these-
stuff up here with the cameras.
Correct.
Fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
So what I don't do though is home stuff because that
Is it falling under the commercial, like the property insurance when you do it for
good point.
Yeah.
The business is licensed and insured a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's not in line with
How
residential,
far is-
Genius
yeah,
Bar, Geek Squad.
personal? Yeah.
They do their own kind of thing.
I find it's and home security. It's so people buy the little packs
Right.
now, and they kind of do that. You seen where the market was going. To.
Yeah.
Commercial. It's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah.
And then they wonder for the home people, they wonder why is it not working? Why is I'm always losing this or not able to do it? Well, it's because you bought commercial stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, you bought residential stuff.
Residential stuff.
Residential stuff,
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 I'll tell you though, everybody I'll tell you the ring cam, like,
Yeah.
you know what it is now. Eventually, like I used to work in. Have you've heard of IoT?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Internet of Things.
Yeah, I work in IoT.
Oh, cool.
So and honestly, what it eventually is going to be, from what the research I've done and what they're building, is you're going to have one device that's going to be centrally located in your home, and it's going to cloak your home, and it's going to be able to touch all your other devices.
Yeah.
And it'll be one thing you can go to. Oh, here's my camera. Here's my temperature. Oh, here's my thermostat, or here's my everything. Like anything you have, that you can control through an app can be controlled under one.
That's what I'm
it's
doing here in this building.
Yeah.
So get this. Short story long. I've got a Google display in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And like you said, a lot of that capability. I can swipe,
Yeah.
turn up the heat, swipe, turn off a light.
Yeah.
The other night I'm just asking Google some questions.
Yeah.
And I'm asking Google some contentious questions.
Ooh.
Like, how bad was this? How much did this cost? How many people were killed? And after my last answer from Google, it reboots. You can't make this shit up. It's like because
it was like,
yeah,
oh my God, I can't take this
that's
anymore.
right. The question is how much of your questions, how much of what you ask Google, how much, because it's recording all day, every day
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
How much of it is going back for other people to listen to?
Yeah.
And I don't care about that stuff.
Yeah.
It happens. It doesn't bother me.
We all have an Alexa. We're all
right,
we have cell phones.
You wanna
we're
see
connected.
me walking around, my house, hang out with my wang out. Fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want to see that stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Oh, I
it's-
pray.
it's-
I'm
that's right.
telling you right now, you don't want to see it.
That's right.
You want to see me with my sweater on. Yeah.
I'm happy if you want. I'll walk around naked, opening jars of pickle all day.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You know what? There's probably a
It's
market
good,
for that.
ugly.
I just like to
There's
look out
good
my
naked and
windows
bad naked.
naked.
Yeah.
My neighbor appreciates that. That hot neighbor I was telling you. She appreciates- no, I'm
Baby.
joking.
My buddy Ron's got the little short robe that you seen in Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Cousin Ed. That's what he walks around, and he's got the Elmer Fudd cap.
Oh,
That he
my-
walks around with.
that's the
Yeah.
best.
Oh yeah, pair of Speedos.
Speedos.
He's quite the sight.
So, okay, we are coming at the
Oh,
top
yeah,
of time.
oh,
Yeah, we're,
Well, I appreciate you keeping
Yeah.
an eye on that.
so we're coming towards the top of time. I'll tell you, Isaac, me and Rich are usually on the same page for this, but we'd love to have you back on
Yeah, please.
because honestly, we've really barely scratched the surface.
I know.
This is how this
we
goes.
do
Right?
get too much goofing off.
Well,
I love it.
it's
I love
a
it.
conversation,
Yeah.
right? We have great. I feel like it's just a great conversation. We found out a lot about you, and there's still so much more we
Good
can
or bad.
find out.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, man, I'd love to have you
Those
back
little
on.
bits and bites, right?
No, that's it, man. That's a
Can't tell them
little
all at the same time.
nibble
I
here,
had
nibble there.
my old group back in Tampa.
Mhm.
We must have known each other for 10, 12 years. And then finally they're like, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what he knows.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
the way I like it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I just tell everyone I work in a fucking office.
Yeah,
You-
yeah.
I'll take. You don't want to hear about it. You know what I mean? It's that.
It's boring.
It is.
Water
Hit
coolers
the,
off.
Yeah.
hit the boring button whenever
Yeah.
you want. It's,
I mean, I find it fascinating. I'm in reinsurance, but I
Yeah.
find that whole field fascinating just because like it covers literally everything. But okay, we are coming to the top time. Before we get out of here, do you teach private lessons of PTK?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, so
we've got some people on Saturdays, thanks to Rich making the space available. Yeah.
awesome.
And
So
his old car.
yeah,
That's right. Yeah. So the story is the missus, we had an old car,
yeah.
23 years old, 22 years old.
God bless it.
And it got to the point, right?
Did it have a
Where
name?
Yeah, no,
Ford
no
Focus.
name. It was a Ford Focus.
Okay.
POS piece of shit. The name?
I can't even believe it lasted that long.
Strike that from the
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know the boss lady is going to want to watch this.
Sure.
So it got to the point where it was trying to kill the driver.
Yeah.
The exhaust was coming into the cab.
Oh, fuck.
Blah blah blah. So
Christ.
I already made it clear. Well, of course, got permission that before we take it to the dump, I want to have some classes here with it,
Yeah.
so we can practice stuff in the car, around the car, and you know.
Really?
It's out here doing. I pull up one day and there's like 10 of them in there, like a clown car.
That's right.
They do this now. They have
Yeah.
like in Russia, they'll have a Brazilian
MMA.
jiu-jitsu-
I've heard about this.
They'll have a Brazilian jiu-jitsu match in a car or an MMA fight
Yeah,
in a
what's up
car
with that?
where like you can submit a guy with a
Yeah,
seatbelt. You know what I mean? Like
That's what I said.
that's
You wanna
fucking
make
Russia,
it
baby.
creative. Change the
So-
environment.
Yeah. Okay, real quick. One more story. I know
Yes.
you got to go.
No, dude,
but-
we're on your
That's right.
we're on your side, brother.
So I'm not going to mention the name. We all love him.
Yeah.
He was the guy I told you that I love him, but we never say anything nice to each other because we love to bust each other's balls.
Yeah.
Right? Anytime we see each other, he's always giving me shit, and I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
He's always questioning the PTK stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So pause on that story. I'm out in the car.
Yeah.
I just go over my group with my group saying, you're not going to strangle somebody with a seatbelt. You watch too many movies.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. I said, if you try to strangle someone with a seatbelt, all they have to do is turn and shoot you through the seat.
Yeah.
So this person, pause on that story. Let's go back to the other story. This
Shit talker.
person, right, love him to death.
I love him.
Shit
I
talker.
love him too.
My favorite part about him is he beats my ass constantly.
Yeah.
And I have to go home and cut myself because I'm like, I can't believe I let him beat me. I let him tap me up. So he comes parading out like a little panda.
Oh, fucking yeah.
I make the mistake of unlocking the door. What does he do? He jumps in the back. He grabs a seatbelt. He tries to choke me with. And everybody else in the car, they're like, wow, Isaac wasn't joking. This shit's straight out of the movie. So what do? I just turn and I hammer off, it's of course a trainer, but I hammer off a few rounds and I'm like, okay, you're dead. And he wouldn't let go.
Yeah.
So I felt bad. I just take the rack. I turn it horizontally up. Boom.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize I caught him in the head.
Yeah.
And next
What
thing you
the fuck
know,
he was
he's
asking for. Well, also, do you think it'd be funny if you just put the chair back and just nailed
right.
it?
right.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
saw that video, right?
no.
You saw. So there was a parody. There's a a news lady
Okay.
that's talking about if you get mugged or if you're getting accosted in a car and someone's trying to choke you with a rope, you put two fingers in like this and then
Oh,
you
Jesus.
release the seat back. And so this smart ass guy does the same video where again someone's trying to choke him with a rope and he's like, okay, what did the video say? Two fingers. Then he goes to release the seat back, but he's got an electric seat. So it's going like this, like
No.
you see him, like, pass out unconscious.
That is
Then
good.
the video ends with his eulogy or something like that.
That's fucking funny. I
Wow.
love that.
Yeah.
So,
Hollywood stuff.
what do you? Okay, so you are available for private lessons. We'll have maybe we'll throw your email in the
Okay,
in the
sure.
description for
Yeah.
people if they want to reach out to you
Yeah,
to book
yeah.
a lesson or come in here and take the class. I love it. I love anything like a different stuff. Like everything has something to offer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you get something from everything, and there's so much interesting stuff you can use. And like you're saying, anything can be a weapon, right?
And
you know,
we do it all the time. My point is what's usable, what's realistic. I always tell the people this is the full art, but this is what I use
Yeah.
because Bill, you had Bill on.
Gentle
For
Bill.
years, Bill and I
Mhm.
went over the art and we're like, this is shit. I would never do this. I don't feel comfortable with this. Okay, this all feels good.
Yeah.
So it's like the turtle position, right? You were
Yeah.
standing on the open
I
mat,
love
like,
turtle, but
but on the street. But if you just change the way you're using it, it can be utilized very effective. Like if someone was on me and I'd say, typical break the grip, hip out,
Yep.
turn and face them. I'll just walk to the wall. If I'm on, I just crawl to the
break them
wall,
off, yeah.
boom, break the grip. If they can't follow me, I put
Right.
my back on the wall like a back escape,
yeah.
hit a switch, I turn and face them.
Yeah.
So just utilize, change the environment, change things a little bit,
Yeah.
Mhm.
utilize the same technique that you would always use.
Yeah.
And I love doing it because people get stuck there then.
Oh, they freeze.
And
right?
then I got them pinned on the wall.
You think
So-
about it, it's too late. Right?
But yeah, it's something you get comfortable with, you get used to. So I think any of those things that you can take them, you modify them to work in a certain way. You just got to drill it like anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah,
Like anything.
You got to drill it and make it
has to be
part of
second
the
nature.
equation,
Yeah.
and then
Not a thought.
while they're thinking about what they're doing, you're reacting.
Yep. So, okay, so we are coming to top time. Is there anything you want to say to the listeners before we get out of here?
No. Brush twice a day, floss.
Love
Don't
it.
forget to have your cat spayed and neuter. Your
Yep.
pet.
Please.
What was the
Yeah.
old Price is Right? Is that
Mhm.
what Bob Barker used to say?
Yeah.
Don't forget to have your pet spayed and neutered.
And if you have black toenails or fingernails, that is a fungus. You need to address that.
Yeah, please.
They have little things you can put over your fingers and toes now.
What?
Yeah, it's an antiseptic to kill it.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Even if you have like the athlete's foot toenails?
yeah,
Oh, no shit.
yeah. They actually have stuff now. It looks like a thumb wrestler.
Yeah.
It goes right over your
1,
little,
2, 3,
and you put
4.
it on at nighttime. But I've had people, oh yeah, no, I've always had that black toenail.
Mhm.
That is a foot fungus.
Damn.
Hmm.
Get rid of it.
So what's
You gotta
the
take care of that.
spectrum of black? Because I'm wondering if I need these things.
Same. Because
There
I
could
got.
be any discoloration of the nail.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that is that can cause ringworm and other things.
Mm,
Oh my goodness.
It's very contagious.
damn.
So don't put my big toe in anyone's mouth.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Or-
please. Yeah.
That's
Well, not anymore.
anymore. Yeah. Again.
and think about it. A couple years ago up in New York training, getting a scramble with somebody, and their toenail came
Yeah.
by and clipped me.
Oh.
Remember when it happened to my
Yeah.
eye?
Right.
And I washed it out when I was up there, showered the whole bit.
Mm.
My eye,
Blue. Yeah.
oh, it blew up. It
Yeah.
hurt so bad.
Yeah.
And here
Well,
they
who
cut
was
the
the-
cornea with a nail, and they said it's so dangerous
Hmm.
that if I didn't go to the eye doctor the next day,
Yeah.
that it could have gotten way worse. I mean, I was on drops for a month,
Mm.
Oh.
and it's still, I mean, the pain. You would think like, oh, a little scrape on your cornea, and obviously dirty toenails, but he didn't have black.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, imagine if that thing. So you gotta, I mean, hey,
Was it Jung and his friend Wu? Wu was from South Korea
yeah, I remember.
Remember?
Oh, yeah,
before COVID.
yep.
He was doing lasso, and I'm like, nobody does lasso to me. Lasso's my thing. So I'm coming in too close. His toenail cuts me here.
Oh,
Cuts me so. I mean, talk about luck.
yeah.
Talk about a blessing. It was such a horizontal cut that then
Oh.
the skin flaps open.
Oh,
And my favorite part is the next day I had to go to Austin and be in front of a customer.
Oh.
So the customer's like looking at me like, what the hell?
pterodactyl tears.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus.
Like,
Yeah.
talons, they're even
Cut your
toenails.
toenails. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care of your feet and fingers.
Love it.
Toenails.
Nice. Well, Isaac, thank you
Thank
so
you very much,
man.
man.
This was
Professor.
great.
Good seeing you
Nice
guys.
seeing you.
Rich, great job
Yeah,
again.
Awesome.
All right. Well, speaking of being awesome, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by the one and only Rich Latta, and our guest today is the amazing Isaac Valdez. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok. The Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspective@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe so we keep bringing you this awesome shit. Thanks for listening. Stick around for the ad read. Thanks. See ya. Weren't expecting that high note, were you?
I love it, man.
The